So I was out shooting some skiing yesterday and I was about to unpack my bag, and I thought I'd do a quick video to show you what I have in my bag, why, and how I use it to get the shot. So first up, this is my Shimoda Backpack. Well, actually it's Brenda's, but it's the Action X40 Women's Series. And let's jump inside. So it's a pretty simple setup. I've got my A7SIII mounted with a 16 to 35. I've got the 70 to 200 in here. I've got the little 50 millimeter tucked in here. Spare camera body just in case anything goes wrong, rigged up with a little monitor and a handle on top. Up top in this compartment, I've got a few accessories. I've got a set of radios, some layers, and some snacks. So I've taken all the dividers out of this main camera cube because I wanted to be able to have quick access to my camera rig that was already built out. So let's take a closer look and I'll show you what I got. So first, a couple accessories. Radios, super helpful for communicating with athletes. Little air blaster in case I get any dust on my sensor, which can be super problematic when you're shooting video especially. I've got a couple lens cloths for when I get blasted with snow or things get wet. One a little bit larger, one smaller. Lens case keeps things separated and protected so they don't scratch things up in the bag. Cube, which I'll go through in a minute, and camera gear. So in terms of lenses, I've got the 70 to 200 f4, and then I've got an ND filter already mounted on all my lenses, so I can easily swap and not have to adjust my settings. I like this 55 millimeter prime because it is so compact and lightweight, and yet if I want to shoot something low aperture, it's super easy to throw this on. I've already got the ND filter on it, but I can keep it in this little case and it tucks nicely in the top of my bag. Now, we'll talk through the main camera in a second. In this accessory pouch, I've got backup camera, the A7 IV, just in case something happens to my main camera, that way I'm not dead in the water on my shoot. And then inside here are a few batteries. Now, the main camera rig. I've got this rigged up just about as compact as I can. Monitor on top, handle here, handle here. The monitor on top is super key because when I'm out shooting in the snow in bright sunny conditions, it isn't possible this back screen is just not adequate in terms of brightness, and it's so small that it's hard to frame things up. So having a monitor is super key. And then I just like having handles so that I can, put this anywhere I want, hold it in a variety of ways. But yet it's not rigged out so big that it's bulky and won't fit as a whole package inside my camera bag. Normally I don't like shooting with a camera strap, but if I'm shooting somewhere super steep or where I might drop the camera, it's pretty key to have. And also, if I'm gonna leave the camera out in between shots and just throw it around my neck, let it hang down and ski in between locations, I'll use the strap. So that's my pretty minimalist setup as far as filming skiing. The only thing that's missing here is the battery on my monitor. That's because it's on the charger. I really like the A7S III because it allows you to shoot full frame 120 frames per second slow motion. So when I'm shooting skiing, I really want to capture the action, and having a camera that can shoot full frame without cropping in is awesome. The reason I like that is because I think in terms of focal lengths that are full frame. So if I want to shoot a 16 millimeter shot, I want it to be a 16 millimeter shot. I don't want it to be 16 millimeters cropped in. If I'm going to shoot something super telephoto, it's not as critical, but for those wide focal lengths, it makes such a difference when you crop in. The difference between 16 millimeters and 24 millimeters is significant. I wanted to talk through a couple specific settings that I adjusted for this shoot. First up being the autofocus transition speed. Now, since I knew I was shooting fast moving action, I usually keep this on 3 or 4. I bumped it up to 6 because I wanted to make sure that I had things in focus. I also made the subject sensitivity a little bit higher. Normally I keep it in the middle, but I made it at 4. And lastly, I always want to make sure that I have the steady shot activated. You can turn it off, but if you're shooting handheld, you definitely want to work in standard mode or active mode if you can. Active mode is only available in the lower frame rates, not at 120 frames per second. So let's go with standard. I hope this video was helpful for you. I will have links to everything down in the description. If you haven't already, be sure to subscribe. I'll be doing some more lens reviews and talking about some more gear. So hit that subscribe button, it really helps out the channel, and I'll see you in the next video.